What's going on, everybody? I hope that you're having a great night, a great day, wherever you're at in the world. I appreciate you being here with us here at the Context Complex. You already know it's your boy Tariq Dupree and my lovely co-host.
It's me, Dawn, aka the Golden Dawn.
And we coming at you with another episode, and we starting it off on a new note this week. We're gonna start it off and every week from here on out, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so from now on, we're going to be starting off every podcast, every episode with some positivity. You know, we talk about this. Oh, my fault. All right, so I'm going to just go ahead and let her explain the rest of what we got going on, because I don't want to get too into the details.
No, I was supposed to say, hey, Dupree, guess what? I've got good news. And then he was supposed to say,
oh, you got good news?
See, doesn't that sound better?
It don't be good news. So I'm excited for this. I'm really excited for this.
So now, I'm not the kind of person that gets deep into what's going on. I just found this good news. If you know something more about this person out there that's not good, let's leave it for later. For right now, we're going to celebrate the good news this person's doing, right? So Elon Musk's brother, Kimball Musk, has this program out here where he has a nonprofit that's making food gardens for whoever wants one, needs one, can have one. And it's pretty cool because it's a $10 donation from active farmers, and then once a $10 donation goes out, then somebody takes this little garden kit out to the person so they can get their food. And it's pretty awesome because the actual nonprofit has raised 5,000, enough money for 5,000 farms they put out there. But some of the farmers decided that they wanted to do it themselves and not wait for the funding to come through. So out of that, there's been 7,300 gardens that have been made by this program. So that's really good news. Just more people, especially in these food deserts. Like, we live in South Jersey, so Camden is considered a food desert. There's no real grocery store out there. There's a few produce stands or whatever, but there really isn't a reliable way in the city to get food, and that would make that a food desert. And so this is awesome because it's not only bringing awareness about fresh food and gardening and how you can, eat off the land on your own without having to buy food, but it's just great because now so many kids that didn't have that access to learning about the environment now have that through, gardening on their own. So that is really good news to my ears.
Absolutely. I agree. Yeah. Anytime, anything like in that direction, I love to hear about it because you already know how I feel. I feel like the main source of what we eating should definitely be coming from the earth. And I'm super big, I know that's something that I am planning to get more into, and we are planning to get more into, is to, help bring more of that vibe to our communities, to the world, and, also to ourselves, because I'm trying to go crazy with the garden this year, every year from now out, because it's a beautiful process for real. I got the chance to do my own garden last year, and just to actually watch these plants grow, and then just keep taking care of them for so long, and then eventually they just grow into all these different fruits and vegetables and whatnot. I swear,
it tastes better,
hits
right?
different. It hits so much different. And it's I know y'all know, when y'all cook your own food and it just be hitting different than when you go and get some takeout or something. Imagine that on a whole nother 3 month, 6 month level. I'm telling you. So I'm excited for that. I'm glad that you brought that to attention.
That's a good one, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So what's our topic for the week?
I guess we about to just go off the spot.
No, we have a topic.
Oh! I thought you was asking me.
No, I was in the sense of a segue. You and these segues tonight.
I thought you had something completely different.
No.
All right.
We
I was
had
just
a
making
plan,
sure
guys.
we still on the same topic.
We had a plan.
So I do know what we're talking about tonight. Don't think I'm over here laughing. So today, essentially, we didn't really come up with a name or a title, but what we're gonna be talking about is just not looking outside of yourself. And I feel like that was gonna be the best way to say it. I was gonna say not looking too far outside of yourself,
but just not looking outside of
not
yourself.
looking outside of yourself. And this goes into every single alley of anything in life, because it could really be with anything. It could be with anything, any person, any situation, any habit. And it's just, I feel like so many of us get caught up in feeling like it's something outside of us that's really gonna, bring us our peace, which is inner peace, so it could only come from within. But bring us our peace, or bring anything, like to rely on something outside of ourselves for something is not what we're here to do. Like, point blank period, at the end of the day, because we have everything within us, like, that we need for that peace, for that clarity, and we don't need to search so much direction. We need to search for direction outside of ourselves. And it's great for us, to go out into the world and to learn from different people, learn from different experiences, use different methods of like aligning with ourselves. But there's no just like ultimate one thing that's gonna be that for you, because that's who you are already, so.
Well, I wanted to just add to that. So when I think about this, I think about healing work versus growth work. And so many of us carry trauma inside of ourselves. And that
if not all of us.
Yeah, if not all. And in some way, I do think that we've all experienced trauma, because, you can't really grow without anything negative happening to you,
right,
or perceived as negative. So you can't grow without it. So, okay, trauma for us all.
Yeah.
So you can't grow the same when you have that unhealed trauma inside. And so when I say grow the same, I do believe you'll grow, because you'll be like that rose in the concrete. But you could also transplant that rose into dirt and let it grow right. Do you know what I mean? And that takes the healing. So transplanting yourself into where you can grow properly is the healing. But so many of us actually don't realize that what you're reading and studying and getting into, that's actually for growth. And that's outside yourself. And so when you think about all the different ways that maybe you might read about the process of manifestation, well, all of that is showing you the outward things that you can do to move yourself forward. But unless you sit with yourself, none of those outward things that you can do. And when I say outward, writing your manifestation post-it notes, that's still outward. That's still out. When you're pulling tarot cards, that's still out. But you have to sit with yourself inside to make that, to get your soil right, to get yourself transplanted from that concrete to the soil. So yeah, you'll grow, but you're not going to flourish until you deal with that inside. And that's where it hurts, and that's when people put up a wall.
Yeah. Two things on that note is, like, if you're reading about manifestation, hearing about this from someone, hearing about anything like the law of attraction, all of these are, human concepts to explain natural, supernatural processes in the world. And just to clarify on supernatural, like, a lot of us had the wrong idea of this word, because we think that it's something so, I was about to use another word just like it to try and explain it, but we think it's so extraordinary. And really what we are thinking that it's like out of the ordinary. But the word itself says that it's supernatural. So it's very natural, or extraordinary. It's very ordinary. So if someone is telling you about these things and they're not bringing it back to that alignment with yourself, like sitting within yourself and knowing that that is where everything else is coming from, then like you're not getting the right information on that for real, because all these outside things, these outside tools, these outside methods really don't mean anything, are gonna have no effect without that internal connection. And I had another thing I was gonna say, but I forgot. So you can take that.
But it's true. None of that's gonna work
Oh
out.
yeah.
without
Okay,
that.
I just thought about it.
Now you're gonna take
All
one.
right.
Go
Yep.
ahead. You
Yep.
have
Now
it.
I
You
got
have
cut
it.
back in.
Go ahead.
All right. So, and I was gonna say too, like, through the traumas, I feel like it, like, to use your comparison to the rose and the concrete, I feel like our bodies, our temples, especially on the energetic, like, emotional level, specifically, I feel like most of our trauma goes within, like, our heart chakra. So I feel like, we're born with this beautiful garden, like roses just all up in us, whatnot, so to say. And it's so free, it's open, it's breathing all the time. And then it's like throughout life, people come around, or maybe we come around on ourselves after people have come around, and we start to like pour this concrete on ourselves, you feel me? And like harden ourselves up, harden our heart, close ourselves off to different situations, to just putting ourselves out there, into maybe your dreams, or putting yourselves out there into like the love world, whatever you want to say. Like, we do so many things, or just forming connections, relationships with people on any level. We kind of block ourselves up, and it's like, I feel like it's always gonna be that one flower, like in the concrete. No matter how much you pour on there, no matter how much you close up, it's always gonna be there. And then it's not. Just like you said, you hope not. No, I'm not saying it's stuck there. I'm saying like that rose is not gonna die. That rose is not gonna falter. Like, you can always remove the concrete. Like, you can always do the process of breaking up that concrete and getting back to that soil.
Absolutely.
So yeah, no, I'm not saying like it's always gonna be in the concrete. I'm saying we gotta start breaking that concrete down and just getting back to our garden, but. I just wanted to paint that picture.
I'm with that, absolutely. So I guess some people are probably just wondering, like, but I've been trying to do this. You're talking about it, but how does it happen? But, like, just off the top of my head, sometimes, like, I really do think that you have to just, and I don't know, I feel like I'm overemphasizing this, but I feel like it's just going to be a negative place that you're going to be in, but I feel like you just have to get through there. And I think it's like, if it means talking to a therapist for some people, talking to a trusted friend for other people, but like venting that stuff out, because I feel like so many of us feel weak if we talk about the things that make us like vulnerable. But you've got to have somebody you can be vulnerable around, because how are you gonna let it out? How are you gonna get past it? You just can't heal if you don't express it. And humans are naturally expressive creatures, and so you have to do this. Like, it has to happen. You can't keep it balled up inside. So I mean, and I think that honestly, that's the one thing I feel that is the biggest block for people, is trust. People have such a hard time trusting other people, and so you don't want to open up to somebody. You don't want to get there because you're just like, I don't know, that person's going to turn on me or whatever. But you have to have trust that the universe wants you to go on this journey. And so you have to trust that the people who are now coming into your life are people that are going to be there and solid for you. Because I'll be honest about myself, I don't know if I have the best trust for people, but I just started believing that the people in my life are meant to be there and letting it go. Just it is what it is,
Yep. No, I feel that entirely. I've been doing the same thing because I've struggled with a lot of trust issues myself, and at a certain point, it became like I was living in the past because of that. And one thing that I feel like we gotta really understand is that not everyone is meant to be in our life forever. Certain people is only coming for a reason and a season, and that's it. And that's okay, because they still teach us so much. They do bring us love at certain times, and just because it wasn't forever doesn't mean that we have to necessarily see that as negative or be like upset about it. But also, it's like God, the universe was taking a lot of people out of my life at a certain point in time, and I'm like, damn, like none of these people is there for me. You feel me? So it's like, and in the state of mind that I was at, I'm like, all of my friends, the people that are supposed to be here for me right now, like certain people in my family, they're not here. And like, they kind of said that they would be, and it's like, that hurt, that put me in a negative space. But really what was happening was those people were being like moved out of my life so that I could connect with the people that I was really supposed to be connected with. And then it got to a point where I was still so untrustful, still having that like doubt because of what the past has shown me. And you know, you can't just look at the past for what the future is going to be unless you're looking for the past to repeat itself.
Repeat itself, exactly. I was thinking those words.
So it's like, at a certain point, I was like not trusting all these new people in my life, and like honestly giving off some not the best energy towards these new people in my life. And it was really just because of how I had been made to feel in the past. And then one day I realized, I'm like, yo, like, I'm holding on to all these old emotions. I'm holding on to all this, you know, grief and like anger and frustration. But none of that is like relevant to what's the people in my life now, because those people are gone. Like, that's the past. And you know, at a certain point, you just gotta really take an inventory of who's there for you, who's around you, and maybe, you know, that's not the problem. Maybe those people are more so like there to help you find a solution.
That's well put. I wasn't. Okay.
And one more thing, yo, for my fellas out there, it's like, I know we've grown up with this concept that we not supposed to speak on our emotions, that we not supposed to, you know, open up even to one another, even to your homie, even to your day one. And it's like, trust, like, that's how so much stuff that just doesn't need to happen ends up happening. So many, you know, situations that we would not rather not be in, you know, times where like we get angry and frustrated and say something that we don't mean to the wrong person. It's all because we just holding all this stuff inside of us. So I encourage y'all, you feel me, like, hit your homie up, make sure he's good, you feel me, bro. Be like, nah, like, I know you fine, bro, but tell me, like, is you really good for real? Because we gotta create that culture and just be more accountable for ourselves and give ourselves a better chance in life, because we're not giving ourselves no chance holding everything inside of us. That's not how life is really meant to be. And at the end of the day, you know what I mean, I'm trying to see all my kings with a smile on their face, all my queens too.
And spread that message too out there, especially for you men out there, because I can tell you the children are watching, and I can tell you that the 8th graders that come through my class, they're on the right mindset. They speak like this, they believe like this, so keep spreading the message, because that's what's gonna help change the culture for the women that you love out there, is that you change the culture of the men, you know? And so it maybe we won't have to tell our daughters, you know, watch what you wear and watch what you do. Maybe they could just walk down the street and be fine if everybody just was taking care of their issues inside and not have an emotional buildup, you know?
Right.
So
1000%.
Just let ladies live. Like, we gotta heal men to get that to happen.
I agree. Definitely, most definitely. So I'm grateful, you know, to be here speaking on that, because it's something that I've always, you know, just felt called to, and it is so important for us to, like, you know, set that example for the younger generation, set that example for your little cousin, set that example for your little brother, your little sister, you know,
your son,
because your son, your daughter, whoever, like, you know, and kids just, they watch adults, they watch grown-ups, and they're like sponges, you know, they just take in information, and at the end of the day, like, they look up to us. They look up to us. They don't know, they don't have a preconceived notion, because it hasn't been taught to them yet, about what is necessarily right, what is necessarily wrong. So they see you behaving how you behave, and they just think that you the coolest person ever because you're a grown up, you feel me? So we gotta really make sure that we're leading by example and leading with love and just working on ourselves, healing ourselves, because a lot of people too, including myself in the past and at times, maybe even to this day, I get too caught up in trying to change the world and not realizing that just by changing myself that I'm changing the world, because you are just as much of a part of this world as anyone else is, you know? And it's like we're all equal in this. So just by healing ourselves, healing our own problems, like raising up our energy, that affects everyone that we come into contact with, everyone that we speak with. So it's so important for us to really make sure we're taking the time to sit with ourselves, look within, take that time of silence, like I'm not even going to call it meditation because I feel like some people get caught up on that word.
Yeah.
Like, just sit with yourself, sit with your thoughts,
quietly.
breathe, like, take some deep breaths and just hear what's coming to mind and let it go. I promise you, like, it is different. It does a lot, and I feel like that does more than really anything outside of us really could. It's just taking that time to sit with ourselves, because at the end of the day, when we're going out into the world, when we're reading something, when you're listening to this podcast, you know, you're taking in information, you keep steadily putting stuff in. When do you take the time to just sit with what is in? Because you can't just be constantly adding on to this all the time without taking the time to reflect upon it, or else we'll get into a period where, like, our thoughts are so frantic, you know, racing around because we've put stuff into our mind every single day for the past 2 years and haven't taken no time to really sit with what it is that is inside of us.
Speaking of taking time, I definitely think it's very underrated right now that people go into the woods. I'm a big proponent of taking that time with nature. I know so many people that look like me are just like bugs and sweat and dirt. I get it, bugs, sweat, and dirt, but that's honestly, people are meant to be living out in that. So can we just all, like, push ourselves to take more time in nature? Because I'm trying to tell you, it's so healing. Those trees are breathing for you, and then you're sucking it in, and they're giving off all this, like, growth energy. Sometimes I just go and I can feel their, like, heartbeat, like, and so can you take some time and try to get over the bug thing? Tea tree oil, there's your tip.
Yep.
Put the tea tree with a little coconut oil.
Don't use no bug spray.
No,
we don't
no
know where that
spray.
comes from.
But
Get
tea
some
tree
all natural.
oil,
Yeah.
and they don't like that at all, and you'll be good to go. The bugs don't like it. I put it in my hair all the way down to my toes, and you're good. I promise you. Please go out into nature. Brown people out there, we have to get over this bug thing and go outside more.
Yes.
Can we go outside and get some vitamin D?
Peppermint oil is another great
That's
one,
a
too.
very good one,
So
too.
if you ain't got no tea tree,
Eucalyptus will get it done.
I know your auntie got somewhere in the cabinet somewhere.
I know my auntie does.
Yeah. I'll be worried if she didn't.
Like, who are you? That's how I know she's the clone.
Right. Be like, oh, hold up. She got some artificial products in here?
Yes, what is this?
Nah.
I don't know, that's not,
Yeah,
not my
nah.
auntie. Not today. Hi, auntie. Love you.
Yeah.
Do we have any? This is short and sweet one?
Yeah, it
I
might
feel like
be.
it might be. But that's okay, because later in June we have something to tell you guys. So it's okay if it's short and sweet, because it'll be worth it. That's
facts.
say.
Yeah, we got some big announcements on the way. Some big updates.
Just hold tight, y'all. Y'all are going to be happy for
some big renovations.
Don't tell them too much. You're going to give it away. The secret sauce. They can't know yet.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Just wait till you taste it.
I did be cooking up in the kitchen, literally and metaphorically.
In every way. So we got a real nice plate coming for y'all.
I really
to
can't
say the
wait.
least.
I really
To say the
can't
least.
wait.
But yeah, it's gonna be great, and you already know we're always gonna keep coming with something new all the time, because
that's what we do.
That's what we do. That's who we are. But yeah, I appreciate y'all taking this time to be with us. Like I said, appreciate y'all coming out, you know, and like we said, just take some time to sit with yourself, sit within, and reflect on what you got going on in there. I promise you, it's going to bring you more peace. It's going to bring you closer to what it is that you really want, because that's that time that you take to discern what is and isn't serving you anymore. So you don't need to go get that tarot card reading.
You took it out my mouth.
I
I was going to say exactly. You said, okay. That's what I was going to say.
I promise you wondering about that boy, you wondering about that girl. Like, don't be too caught up in it, and just sit within yourself. Like, ask yourself, is that really even good for you? You don't need to go and keep listening to this podcast to feel good, like, you know.
But you can if you want to, because I know we're awesome.
It would be nice right now. You know, we're starting from the ground up.
No judgment.
We're starting from the ground up. So, and we gonna tell you to go back and spend that time. But then,
After
and a
he
lot of
just
people
told you
won't
don't
tell
do
you.
it.
A lot of people won't tell you that. So you know,
Unplug, spend some time
Facts.
in nature. Don't be afraid of bugs. I got a bug that I'm
get
afraid
yourself
of, but
some
I'm gonna
fruits
get
and
over it too.
vegetables.
Lots of them. They
Find
make you
one
feel
of these
real
gardens.
good inside.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
So,
Go sweat. Make your body move. Do something.
Get that energy,
active.
Emotion. Move that emotion
Absolutely.
around.
And laugh a lot too.
Yeah.
We got a lot of good tips today.
Facts.
These are good tips. They're not bad tips.
Top shelf.
Well, I guess that's it for this week.
Yeah. So we gonna have a whole lot coming for y'all. So be patient
don't
with
be
us.
mad about this 30-minute episode because we're gonna make up for it. We promise. Just wait. It's happening.
You think we gonna do more than make up for it? Y'all gonna be like, wow, like for real.
Real talk.
Keep tuning in. You know, check us out on Instagram. Show
wait
some
to
love.
tell
Ask some questions. If there's anything you want to hear us talk about, anything you want to see us do, we'll think about it. You know, but we'll do our best. You know. But anyway, y'all have a beautiful rest of y'all day wherever y'all at, and appreciate y'all being here. Peace out.